Hey guys, would you consider yourself to be okay or la la la? Sorry, that was a really stupid introduction to the video. If this is your first time ever seeing me, I am sorry. But can you guess who we're discussing in our video today? It's Tyler, the Creator. I don't know why I'm full of funny voices today, but today we are discussing Tyler, the Creator. Full disclosure, I just started properly getting into Tyler's music probably a couple months ago. I know, sorry. No shade, but to consider myself a music enthusiast is kind of crazy. But in this video, I wanted to really talk about his music, his journey, our journey as listeners. I know I say our like I'm part of the team, but like, we'll get into it. We'll get into my journey. You know, how he is as an artist, how we experience his music as listeners, and how we're all active participants in the music industry. Really, that's really what I want to talk about. But Tyler's story is coming up, so obviously I have to talk about him. I don't know why I'm being so weird today. I haven't even had caffeine yet. But yeah, so let's get into the video. Before we get into that though, let me introduce myself first. Hi, welcome to my channel if you're new here, or welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things music related. I talk about artists, events, observations, and just things that I see happening around in the music industry. So if that's something that you guys seem to be into, you're welcome to like, subscribe, and stick around for a little while. So I want to start off by talking about my journey, and I can't really get all sentimental because I don't know him like that. But first time that I ever listened to a Tyler, the Creator song was I think 2017 or 2018. Listened to it the first time and it was just not for me. Given I was also like 12 years old, I was in middle school, and the only things that I listened to were AC/DC and One Direction. I'm not even joking. I wasn't really the demographic, let's just say. As years went by, I gave it a try. You know, I listened to him again when Call Me If You Get Lost came out. Again, it just wasn't for me, you know, it didn't hit, and I didn't understand why I wasn't getting the hype. Because everybody around me throughout all of middle school and all of high school was up Tyler's ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse like that. They were D-riders for him, and I just didn't understand why. I was like, given I wasn't really a music fan by any means, yes, I was a fangirl, but I was a fan of bands, and like, I was a fan of emo music, and I was a fan of pop music. Rap music wasn't really my style until probably 2019. But even then, it was very, very like surface level. If anything, I've evolved so much since then. But just like to give you a little bit of perspective, I did listen to Chromacopia and I loved it. I loved it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if I had just grown as a person. I didn't know if my frontal lobe started to develop, but I started to get the hype. I started to understand it. One may even call me a Tylerette, or whatever the fangirls are called, I don't know. So I went back and I re-listened to his entire discography the next day. And it's safe to say, I'll consider myself a Tyler enjoyer. I don't know about a fan just yet. I don't really know about the full intricacies of his music, but what I do know is that he shaped the music industry with his own two hands. Every experimental sound that you can think of within at least the rap and hip hop scene of the past maybe 10 or 15 years, you can probably attribute it to Tyler, the Creator in some way. He began releasing music in about 2007, 2009, sorry, little sources are unclear, but it's been about 15-20 years, and he started making music with Odd Future, which you probably know him from, and releasing his own mixtapes as well. Now his lyrics are controversial to start it off, which is why I think I didn't really get into it at the beginning. I listened to him and it was just harsh, I guess is the way to really put it. I mean, if you look at some of his lyrics from like Goblin, one thing that we can really see over his past 4-ish albums is there's definitely been growth in both himself. He's very open about himself and his lyrics and his music, and his just overall production and the way that he makes his music. And this is why I think that Tyler, the Creator really is one of the most influential people in the music industry. Now, when you think of like a music enjoyer or a music enthusiast, one might even call themselves. They're pretty pretentious. And if you ask them about some of their favorite artists, they might say some really niche artists you've never heard of. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. They all started off by listening to Tyler, the Creator. And I mean every single one of them. They started off listening to Tyler, the Creator in probably 2018 or 2019. And I know this not just from firsthand experience, but every single person I've ever asked, they always say, oh yeah, I think I started getting into more experimental music by listening to Tyler, the Creator. Especially when I think of like 2019 and 2020, a lot of the really popular artists at the time where people were starting to really discover new music, people looked to Mac DeMarco, Tyler, the Creator, maybe even like Arctic Monkeys. He was really such a pivotal artist, especially in that time of the late 2010s and early 2020s. People listen to Flower Boy and Call Me If You Get Lost a lot during that time, and I think that because he's so open about himself in the music, that helped a lot of more people really connect with his music more. I find it very interesting how he's such a pillar of many people's music taste and continues to be one, as he's been very consistent with his music. You know, with these like 2-3 year album cycles that he's had going on for the last couple of years now, I feel like people find ways to resonate with him, and he's just such a personality that a lot of people can really attach themselves to. You see people go to Camp Flog Gnaw every year, and obviously they're there to see Tyler. Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war. Say what? But then they're introduced to so many new artists that some of them have probably never heard of. Like, a lot of people had never heard of Doechii before last year, but after Camp Flog Gnaw and her new album release, people are now hooked. And I think that his way to find new talent within other people while also finding new talent within himself with every album that he makes is something that is quite unique, and we don't see with a couple of these more mainstream rappers these days. A lot of them tend to stick to the same formula that's been working for years and years and years. But there are a couple of them, such as Tyler, the Creator, who like to push these boundaries with their sound, and they push it to the max. I mean, if you listen to his discography in order, you will hear it. If you look at the lyrics of his discography in order, you will see it. There is such a growth within him. As it's been 20 years, he's grown from like a teenager to a full-on adult. And as listeners, we go on that journey with him. And I think that it's this connection that he has with his fans, with his listeners, that allows him to grow more as an artist, to create these meaningful connections within himself, where a lot of fans, while vaguely parasocially, they see themselves within him. And again, they latch onto that. But I think that his way of pushing these boundaries of music constantly is what allows his fans to go and find new music and find their own niche or their own taste of music with his creativity and his experimentalism, and with his way of experimenting with his sound. He allows them to find new artists, find new sounds that they might enjoy, that they might not have found without listening to him first. In a way, he's like one of the decisions that led them to where they are now and where they will be in the future. All that to say, while it has been quite a journey for, at least for me, I can only really speak for my own experiences here. While it's been that journey to find artists to listen to, I really do think that Tyler is one of those artists that will go down in the books as someone who is very inspirational, just a pillar in the music industry that is always helping other people find something new. And I think that's something that's really beautiful about his music. So yeah, sorry, this was like just a short little think piece. It's been quite a day, but I really wanted to get something out to you guys. So if you enjoyed it, let me know any other artists that you guys have been really into lately. Let me know what other ideas you have for more videos. Kind of running out of ideas. Okay, I gotta go.